Hey Ken, it's Lance. I just wanted to show you some of the PVC bows that I've been making. I'm definitely not an expert considering I've only made 3, but I wanted to give you a couple of tips. I'm going to go quick to try to limit the video size and try to give you a couple of pointers on some things and some design difficulties I've ran into along the way. First consideration, okay, Schedule 80 PVC versus Schedule 40 PVC. Notice the difference in the wall thickness on the pipe. Obviously the thicker wall is going to give you a heavier draw weight. I've been able to achieve anywhere between 38 and 54 pounds with this. Schedule 40 I haven't experimented with enough to be able to tell, at least not with this pipe diameter. More on that later. Remember I told you that stringing was kind of tricky. This is a 200 pound 38-inch wood clamp. I've got loops on the ends of that thing, and it's really easy to use. Spring-loaded gizmodoid here allows you to cinch it in as little or as much as you like in order to determine your pre-bend or amount of tension that you want on your pipe. Once you've got your bowstring on, all you got to do is pull the trigger, pop it loose, and bingo. You can handle it all by yourself without having to have someone else help you string your bow. The way that works is these loops go into these little notches. Now the notches are occupied when you're going to string your bow, so what do you do with the string? Well, the way I like doing it so far, and it's been reliable, is to drill a hole. I haven't had any trouble with cracking or splitting, and there's no way in hell the string's coming out of there at all. It's not going to pop off. I got a hefty knot on the other side of that hole, and that string is not going to come loose. I'm using these notches only for stringing and also for steering the string to the left or the right of the bow, so that when the arrow is knocked it doesn't ramp up the edge of the material on your bow. Heat bending. I showed you that Asian kid that did his on the stove. I found out that that's not the best way to go, and I wound up with some unexpected and unwanted bends in my material that didn't work so well, so I've been using a hardware store heat gun. Pretty inexpensive piece of equipment, allows you to focus the heat exactly where you want it. I like that little piece of equipment quite a bit, and find that it's easier to work on a flat surface without having to mess around with stove heat, or difficult to predict where your heat went. Bow number one. Bow number one has no heat bending. It pulls at about 38 pounds at 21 inches. My desired draw length is 28. That's a design problem. So, it's not a fully successful design, but, as simple goes, it's pretty great. Threw that together in the shop in about 10 minutes. Threw a string on it, and, at 28 inches, it pulls about 45 pounds. That's Schedule 80 PVC. It's about 5'9" long. Bow number two, also Schedule 80 PVC, only about 4.5 feet long. Turns out this increased my draw weight a little bit too much. This thing pulls 44 pounds at 21 inches and isn't worth pulling back to 28 where I want it. Nice little feature here is I sort of crimped in the center and used the spent 9mm shell casing as my arrow rest. I just melted it into the plastic. It's connected in the same way. Just got a hole drilled and a little slot for me to slide my string through. That does not yawn when I draw it. That thick-walled Schedule 80 PVC just, holds everything right in place. Probably going to give this bow away because, 44 pounds at 21 inches, man, that's too much for me. Now, what I did learn about this one is that heat bending will help with your draw length a little bit. The idea is to get the string, the further you bend it, back further away from the front portion where you're going to knock your arrow. So the more you bend it, the further this is going to go back, and it will assist your draw. But if you make the mistake that I did and you get the PVC too short, you're not going to be able to pull it back too far anyway before you hit that maximum draw weight ceiling that's going to annoy you or me. Bow number three, Schedule 40 PVC, 3/4 inch diameter. I did some heat bending on this one, and I had some really good results. This thing was 20 pounds at 28 inches before I added fiberglass rods, which I have one in each end. It got my draw up to 32 pounds at 28 inches. That's right where I want it. This is my best shooter right now, so I'm really happy with this. What I learned when I was working with this material, since the 3/4 inch is so much easier to bend, is that bending this space back, it was easier to work with this thing when it was about 6 foot 6 inches long, stretched way back, and you know, my initial gap between my string and my front end was way too wide. No problem, the bow was too long in the first place. What I did is I just gradually moved this string in increments further up the line until I got the draw weight, draw length, and spacing issue from front to back at rest that I liked, and bingo, it worked. Hope you find this helpful, and I'll talk to you later.